Our expert team designs unique, luxurious pools tailored to your vision and ensuring exceptional service every step of the way. Dive into elegance and make lasting memories with those you cherish the most. Plan now for next season and call Signature Custom Pools for a free consultation today at 405-898-9098 or visit them online at signaturecustompools.com today.
Want the best tailgate in town? Cater for a large group or feed your team? The 12th Avenue Chick-fil-A in Norman can meet all of your needs. Sandwich trays, nugget trays, and drinks by the gallon, we do it all. Our catering orders include all your essentials to serve your winning team, and it's backed by popular demand, the Honey Pepper Pimento Sandwich, and be sure to try the new Banana Pudding Milkshake. Call the 12th Avenue Chick-fil-A in Norman at 405-310-3189 or visit us on the app.
Did you know that about 23% of Oklahoma's river and stream miles are impaired by bacteria? Pet waste can pollute surface and drinking waters like Lake Thunderbird by contributing harmful levels of bacteria. Be sure to pick up after your furry friend when you're out and about. We drink our stormwater, so please do your part to help protect it. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
The Ref Radio Sports Network is powered statewide by the insurance adjusters at Brown O'Haver. Fire, wind, theft, or tornado, we can help. Call 405-735-5510. Live from the Buffalo Wild Wings Studios, it's time to get locked in to the best Sooner recruiting and football news with Tyler McComas and Parker Thune.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up.
Hit the guys up on the Riverwind Casino call-in line at 405-329-9000. Text the show on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439.
Do it! Just do it!
Now, with Locked In, here's Tyler McComas and Parker Thune.
Well, we got a lot to do on this Wednesday in just 1 hour. We have to talk about where the offensive coordinator situation is right now, what exactly you guys are looking for with the next OC. We've got to award KREF Recruiter of the Month today because Parker is out tomorrow, so we got to decide that today. I've got some candidates to list. Some good recruiting stuff. I guess we can start looking into OU-Maine. And one visitor that I guess confirmed that he's going to be in town this weekend, in-state prospect, and we'll start there. Jinx 3-star defensive lineman Cash Jacobson of the 2025 class. 6'5", 295 pounds. He was a South Dakota State commit and then decommitted earlier this month. And dude is just getting offers like crazy. I saw USC offered, Boise offered. Who else offered him recently?
Texas Tech is in on Cash Jacobson. Oklahoma State is in on Cash Jacobson. And it may not be long, Tyler, before the University of Oklahoma is also in on Cash Jacobson, because what do the Sooners very obviously need in the 2025 class still?
Offensive linemen, quarterback, wide receivers, running backs, tight ends. Oh, defensive linemen? You were talking about interior defensive linemen?
I was talking about interior defensive linemen.
Okay, yeah, yes.
I mean,
they lost two, but yes.
Yeah, look, they need to grab another linebacker. We know that much. But the most conspicuous area of need is defensive tackle, where the Sooners only have one commit, that being national top 100 prospect Trent Wilson. But, man, Cash Jacobson has some really, really impressive senior film, early season senior film. 6'5", 285. That's a big boy, and he moves.
Well,
Tyler.
it sounds like he has some – it sounds like he has some really impressive film when you're getting this many offers this late into the season of your senior year. And not like that's very well-known schools are coming in and offering him as well. So, yeah, that would tell me that it's like, like maybe we evaluated him at one time, but this looks a little bit different the more that we look at this.
My favorite play from his senior film so far is there's a play where he is with, I forget whether it's like a counter or toss. There's some run play that starts out going to the right, and the running back reverses field, works all the way back around to the left sideline. Cash Jacobson, all 6'5", 285 of him, runs step for step with a running back.
Oh, we got a little heart here with Mr. Jacobson.
And
is that what you're
brings
telling me?
him down in the backfield for
Let's
a loss
go.
of yards. Yes.
Let's offer
heart and hustle
Well, he's going to be at OU this Saturday. I guess we'll see if, in the following weeks, if he gets an offer from Oklahoma or not. Is this a situation for Cash Jacobson where, okay, he was a South Dakota State commit. I mean, he decommits because he's clearly getting better offers. Is OU the one that he's waiting on? Like the USC offer and the Boise offer and the Tech and Oklahoma State, is he a kid that's just waiting on the OU offer, or if OU doesn't act quickly, they could miss out here?
Yeah, I don't get the sense that he's like waiting on OU in the sense that, as soon as he gets that offer, it's over. No, trust me, an offer like USC, an offer like Boise State, given where they're at right now in the race for the college football playoff, that's going to have you rethinking where you're at. But before yesterday evening, when both USC and Boise State threw offers down, the school that had been in on him the longest, had built the strongest relationship, and obviously has something of a brand to be able to flex with a kid like Cash Jacobson is Texas Tech. Texas Tech is the leader in the clubhouse for his services right now. Does the offer from USC change that? Absolutely. To what extent, I don't know. Would an offer from Oklahoma change that?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And at that point, would it be very, very difficult for Cash Jacobson to pick a school like Texas Tech over Oklahoma? You'd tend to think so.
Traditionally, yes, it has been very difficult, especially for Oklahoma kids. And, hey, we want all those Oklahoma kids we can get, huh? With all the heart. They want to play for the Sooners. We tend to get that text quite a bit. And also, we tend to get the 3-star U text quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
And it just so happens it rolled in about 4 minutes ago. 3-star U, right when we mentioned Cash Jacobson.
Oh.
I love it. Thank you, guys.
Folks, the kid can play. Please go turn on the tape. Like, this is the encouragement I give to anybody and everybody. In fact, this is the mandate I give. You're not allowed to yell, 3-star U, if you don't go and watch Cash Jacobson's senior film. If you watch his film and still want to say, I don't think he's OU good, then fine. I would disagree with you, but you're welcome to your opinion. From what I see on tape for that kid early in his senior year to this point, I think he is more than capable of being a scholarship guy at the University of Oklahoma. And obviously there are many other P4 schools that believe he is worthy of a scholarship at their institution as well.
OU John in the 918. Ironic that Riley is now offering Oklahoma kids.
Yeah, it's funny. I posted about Cash Jacobson and what I was hearing with regard to him and OU yesterday afternoon, and then like 4 hours later, USC offered. I posted that on the board, and I cracked the joke. I said, I forgot Clark Stroud is still a member here.
Well, yeah. But it does seem like it happens quite a bit, though, doesn't it? Maybe not with Oklahoma kids, but it feels like we've seen that a lot more over the course of the past 8 months, where Oklahoma just offers a kid, and it feels like USC, if it's not the very next offer, is the offer is thrown out shortly after that. So, yeah, interesting nonetheless. 832 Mike says, Parker, how bad is this season going to hurt OU recruiting for 2026, etc.?
I mean, I don't think it's going to hurt a whole heck of a lot, Mike. You're going to feel it. And it might take guys a little bit longer to buy in. For instance, you go back to that 2023 recruiting class. And I'm trying to think who all were like the cornerstones of that class for Oklahoma. Jacoby Johnson was obviously a really, really high-profile addition. You had Caden Green in that class. You had, of course, PJ and Jackson Arnold, Samuel Masigo, all those guys. But at the time, OU was mired in a very uncertain sea, if you will, with regard to the future of the football program. And then, of course, when they got around to playing football that fall in 2022, they only went 6-7. So you're going to have to sell guys on a vision and on the future more so than what is happening right now at Oklahoma. It's doable. This staff has done it before. Is it challenging? Sure. Are you going to lose some guys along the way, or maybe lose some battles that you might otherwise have won if you had double-digit wins on the board? Absolutely. But I don't think it's going to be a drastic drop-off for Oklahoma in the 2026 class, particularly because you already have your cornerstone at quarterback in Jaden O'Neal.
That could be one of the most effective recruiters that you have for 2026, which is nice. We've talked about that many a times before. You get a quarterback in the class and someone who really tries to get the class together, not just skill position players, but offensive guys and maybe even defensive guys. That, in a lot of ways, can be one of, if not the best recruiter that you have. I joked about this yesterday. I think it was in like the final segment of the Rush. It's like, Texas State is playing tonight, and some people are going to tune into Texas State now because of G.J. Kinney. And if the Texas State offense doesn't fare well, you watch. There will be some people tonight that say, I am out on G.J. Kinney as Oklahoma's next offensive coordinator. I was joking for the most part, but I did get a tweet last night about that very thing. After watching this Texas State offense, their head coach is a no for me for offensive coordinator. So that's where we're at with this football season, watching other OC candidates, and if it ain't good enough in their game, then sorry, he is eliminated from contention.
And, of course, you'll get plenty of one-game overreactions from folks. Like, UNLV will lay a dud on Saturday and score 10 points. And, nope, I'm out on Brendan Marion. Forget it.
But is there anything, and I'm asking you, and I'm asking the text line, and I'm asking the YouTube chat here, when everyone evaluates whatever, because I feel like everyone has their favorite or favorites of offensive coordinator that they want. So, like, what is the must to you guys out there? Like, what's the one thing that you're looking for the next offensive coordinator hire? Do you want a guy that's young? Do you want a guy that's a dynamic recruiter? Do you want a guy that has SEC experience? Do you want a guy that has head coaching experience? Do you want a guy that has been a quarterback's coach in the past? Like, when you evaluate who you want as the next offensive coordinator, I guess what immediately comes to mind for you? Like, hey, I'd like to have this with the next OC. What comes to mind for you? Is it the quarterback aspect of it, the SEC side of it, young, good recruiter? Or is it just someone like, I don't really care what it looks like, just go score some damn points, please?
That is exactly where I'm at, right there. I don't care how it gets done. I don't care if it's pass heavy. I don't care if it's run heavy. I don't care stylistically what it looks like. If it scores points, if it puts points on the scoreboard, I'm all for it. That's why, to me, like, the can't-miss hire, the absolute home run hire right now would absolutely be Mike Shanahan, because his offense at Indiana looks invincible, Tyler. That program has not been touched. And they're Indiana,
and they
right?
Like, I mean, not only they haven't been touched, they've like dominated their way through where they're at right now. It feels like they destroyed everyone.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, and if you have apprehensions about whether or not Mike Shanahan's style would translate from the Big Ten to the SEC, okay, sure, I hear that. But what is undeniable, what is objective, when you look at what Indiana has done this season, is that they are scoring points in bunches on everybody. Maybe the most impressive single-game performance from a team that I have seen all year was Indiana's 56-7 thrashing of Nebraska, because Nebraska is no joke as a defense.
They looked pretty good last week against Ohio State.
Exactly, and then they turn around and they hold Ohio State to 21 points in their own building. So for Mike Shanahan and Indiana to just completely decimate Nebraska the way that they did, to me, that validated everything that I thought previously about Shanahan and that Indiana offense, and there has been absolutely nothing to this point in the season that I think you can remotely start to pick at if you want to tear down Mike Shanahan as a candidate.
Dude, that's been my favorite candidate really since the beginning right now. Let's see. FIU, they scored 31. Western Illinois, they scored 77. UCLA on the road, 42. Charlotte, 52. Maryland, 42. Northwestern, 41. Nebraska, 56. Washington last week, 31. I know that's not a murderer's row schedule, but they're putting up points in bunches.
It's the highest scoring offense in the country.
Yeah, well,
and again,
there you go.
He's doing it at Indiana. Right? It's not as if, like, they threw him into a situation where, all of a sudden he's the OC at Michigan, and he's already got some really strong existing skill position talent and a quarterback that's a dog and can distribute and be the trigger man for a high-flying offense. No, he's doing it at Indiana. When was the last time Indiana won anything, Tyler? They had a 4-game run with Michael Penix during the COVID year, and that was about it.
Really, the main history of Indiana football I know is when Lee Corso was once leading Ohio State 7-0, and he called a timeout, got his team on the field, and took a picture of the scoreboard of his team leading Ohio State in the first quarter because they hadn't led Ohio State in like 30 years. He called a timeout, put his team on the field. They took a photo in front of the scoreboard, to commemorate the first time in like 30 years they led against Ohio State. The timeout was over, and Ohio State scored like 45 or 50 straight points and absolutely dominated Indiana. But I still commend Lee Corso for doing that back in, I think, the 70s or so.
So
Amazing.
obviously Indiana is 8-0. They go to Michigan State this weekend with an opportunity to win their 9th game of the season. Would you care to guess when the last time Indiana football won 9 games in a season was, Tyler?
Last time Indiana won 9 games, never. They've never won 9 games.
1967.
Jeez.
The only other time in program history that they have hit the 9-win threshold, 1945.
Nice.
So it's happened twice. They're about to tie, this weekend, should they beat Michigan State, they're about to tie the program record for wins in a single football season, and there's still 3 games left to play in the regular season.
Hey, we did get a super chat from Jacob Matthews, $1.99. So look how we just continue to rack in the super chats. We need to take our super chat fund at the end of each month and buy our own food, and nobody else in the studio can eat it.
I'm with it.
Whatever we want.
Restaurant of the day for us.
For us and us only. Don't touch it. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Jacob Matthews, for that super chat on YouTube Live. He says, someone who's proven. That's what Jacob wants as the next OC. Not some young scrub who's never called plays before. He wants someone who's proven in there and who's done it at a very high level. I would tend to agree with that. This hire is so big for the program and for the head coach next year. You don't want to be giving someone the reins that's never been in that position before. But Mike Shanahan, man, I mean, you're not going to hear any argument with me. That was my favorite name from the beginning.
So you want somebody that's proven, huh?
Yes, I want somebody that's proven.
So you're advocating for the hiring of Art Briles.
Oh God, would you stop? Hey, they are honoring his what years were those? 2013 and 2014. I guess they're honoring those teams. Does Baylor play a home game this week?
Are they honoring him?
I don't know if he's showing up or not, but I did see Lebby give a statement about that or a quote in a press conference about it. How about it? All right, 405-651-3439. A lot of reaction to get to on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Again, what do you guys want with the next OC hire? Well, what do you want the most more than anything? Most of you are saying, like, yeah, I'm with you guys. I just want someone that scores points. I don't care what it looks like. Some of you want someone that's a young up-and-comer. Some of you want a dynamic recruiter. Background as a quarterback's coach as well. SEC experience, former head coach. We'll get to all your submissions and more coming up next right here on The Ref.
Do you eat, sleep, and breathe Sooner football? We do too. This is The Ref, home of Sooner fans.
Do you like to stand out in a crowd while wearing the best in OU apparel? The Jimmy Austin Pro Shop carries the best brands you can wear to work or even dress up events. Lines such as Lululemon, Travis Mathew, FootJoy, Greg Norman, Grayson, or Turtleson with the OU and Jimmy Austin logo are sure to catch everyone's eye. You don't have to be a golfer to shop at Jimmy Austin. They also do corporate special orders for you and your company. Call them today, 405-325-6716, or visit theougolfclub.com for more information.
Hey guys, it's TJ here for my friends over at Joe's Wines and Spirits. Football season is in full swing, and when you need a great selection of your favorite beer, wine, or liquor, do what I do and go see that great staff over at Joe's. They have tons of specials each month. Joe's is open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. and noon to 5 p.m. on Sunday. They're right here in Norman, 1330 East Alameda, or you can visit Joe's Wines on Facebook to catch all of those monthly specials.
How about this? We're hanging out with the winningest coach in OU football history, Bob Stoops, Mondays on the T-Row in the Morning Show. It's the Stoops Review with the HBC on the T-Row Show, Mondays from 7:45 to 8:30 with limited commercial interruption. Every Monday, we'll be looking back at Saturday's OU game with a guy who knows what he's looking at. Bob Stoops, the Visor, the HBC on our show every Monday. Check it out.
Hi, this is Jack Kiker with Knippelmeyer Chevrolet, located in Blanchard, America. My grandfather, Larry Knippelmeyer, tells me everybody deserves to save money, so say goodbye to those pushy big-time dealers with all those add-ons like paint protectors, nitrogen tires, and everything else that they could possibly think of. Then come down to Knippelmeyer Chevrolet, just 15 minutes from OKC or Norman. At Knippelmeyer, We will save you money and make sure you get a good buy from a family-owned dealership that has treated customers like family for over 65 years. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Looking for a better way to bank? Join OU Federal Credit Union and experience the difference. If you are tired of hidden fees and impersonal service at your big bank, well, you deserve better, and that's what you'll find at OU Federal Credit Union. They offer competitive rates on loans and savings accounts. Plus, they're a local member-owned institution. Join OU Federal Credit Union today and discover the benefits of being a part of a community that cares. Visit OUFCU.com or stop by the branches today. Member savings insured up to $250,000 by NCUA.
Hands are how we give. Hands are how we receive. To lend a hand and to hand it off. Hands are how we transform and how we redistribute. Our community needs a helping hand these days, and the United Way of Norman is there to offer it. From emergency services to vocational programs to grief counseling for the youth, the United Way connects your gift with the programs that will have the greatest impact on improving the lives of everyone in the community. Make your donation today and raise your hand for your community. Learn how you can give United at unitedwaynorman.org.
Discover the path to sobriety, emotional well-being, and lasting positive change with the Virtue Center, a nonprofit serving Oklahoma since 1972. Specializing in addiction, gambling, and mental health-related services, we offer same-day walk-in screening appointments Monday through Friday and serve ages 12 and up, as well as individual clients or families. Give us a call at 405-321-0022 or visit thevirtuecenter.org to learn more.
Locked in with McComas and Thune. Live on the Ref for the Homeless Sooner fans. Tyler McComas, Parker Thune in the Ref Army, listening worldwide via the free KREF app. You know what to do. Just search KREF in the App Store to listen to the Ref wherever you're at worldwide. Spanish Fork, Utah is tuned in today. Middletown, Rhode Island. Grapevine, Texas. Gainesville, Florida. Sacramento, California. Tupelo, Mississippi. Fort Mill, South Carolina, and Ellick, Oklahoma, all tuned in today via the KREF app. And our Ref Army locator is brought to you by Affordable Door Company, where they compromise on the price but not on the quality. Visit them online at affordabledoor.net or call 405-635-9499. Jaden Nickens looks like football and basketball could be in his future at the University of Kansas, a one-time OK Preps player and one-time OU commit. I think Cal was maybe the rumor a month ago or so, but I think old Fong put in a prediction for him to end up at KU playing hoops and football. So good for him. Good for him.
I mean, if you're going to play two sports, if you're going to play both football and basketball, Tyler, there's probably not a better program right now that offers more competitiveness and prestige in the aggregate sense between those two sports than the University of Kansas. So, yeah, I think that'd be a great spot for Jaden Nickens. Obviously, that's where the buzz is right now. And, shoot, man, to play in Allen Fieldhouse.
Special place, man.
Yep.
It's a cool place.
Yep, that's where I'd be headed if I were him.
Let's see. Was sad to hear that, Booby Feaster is, maybe not close to a decision. He is a 5-star, by the way, on Rivals in the 27 class, number 4 overall player.
Yeah.
Sounds like Texas is considered the early front runner with LSU and A&M right there as well. I'm not seeing much on Oklahoma right now. I'm like, dang it, need Booby Feaster.
I'll tell you, though.
Long way to go, though.
Oklahoma's got an ace in the back pocket there. Booby Feaster is originally from the state of Louisiana.
Go on.
He's very close friends with an individual in the 2027 class who also hails from the state of Louisiana.
Oh, is he in Shreveport by chance?
That also happens to be very, very high on the University of Oklahoma.
Okay.
By no means am I suggesting he is a package deal with Peyton Houston.
But it wouldn't hurt.
But make no mistake, wherever Peyton Houston commits, he is prepared to bring the cavalry with him. There are several, I'm not just talking Booby. There are numerous other elite players in the 2027 class that he has grown up playing with, playing against, build good relationships with, and wants to play college ball with. So if Oklahoma were to land Peyton Houston, I can almost promise you they'd at least be getting an OV from Booby Feaster.
Can we have that as a drop on the show, what you just said 30 seconds ago? I'm not just talking Booby. I think that could happen. I think that would be great.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
I'm with it.
Drop. I may change my name to Barbecue Feaster, says 3-star Lost City Sooner. Big Rich in OKC says, just had a new grand boy. He is a fan of Booby Feaster with a laughing face emoji. Always gets a lot of reaction on the text line there. But back to the OC discussion. Wilson in the 918 says, I'm with Tyler. Give me Shanahan. 4 exclamation marks there. Alex from Manford, give me Shanahan to call plays and coach tight ends and keep Johns to coach quarterbacks. I don't care what position the OC coaches, to be honest. I just want a real quarterback who played the position and knows how to develop that room.
See, and this is something I've just never understood. And I get it right now because it's all too easy to just crap on Seth Luttrell and say he didn't know what he was doing. And look, by no means am I defending the job that he did with OU's quarterbacks. Those guys have not been developed as well as they could have been developed throughout the season. But Jeff Lebby was a great quarterbacks coach, is a great quarterbacks coach. Jeff Lebby was an offensive lineman. The best running backs coach of the 21st century at the University of Oklahoma is pretty undoubtedly Cale Gundy. Pretty unquestionably Cale Gundy. Cale Gundy played quarterback at the collegiate level. There are many, many coaches. Like the example that always pops to mind for me nationally is Alex Mirabal, who's on Mario Cristobal's staff at Miami. He's their offensive line coach. The guy's like 5'3".
Yeah.
Obviously never played offensive line in his life. So just because you didn't play a given position doesn't mean you can't effectively coach a given position. That said, I do understand, and I am not trying to undermine that particular listener's wishes to have a quarterback coach who played quarterback. I get that.
940, I don't know if I see this game a lot, but I see this name some. Ben Johnson from the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, you think you're prying away the offensive coordinator for one of the absolute best teams in the NFL.
Well, that guy's going to be a head coach in the NFL.
He will be an NFL head coach very soon.
By the way, we just got a $50 super chat.
Whoa, hello.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Is that Michael? I'm praying BV makes the right hire. Don't care who, just the right guy. Keep up the good work, guys. Booba! $50 super chat. I mean, come on. Throw a little our way here, CC Management right there on that whole deal. We made the company like $100 in super chats the past 2 weeks, maybe even more than that.
Sounds like Ranch Steakhouse is our restaurant today.
Yeah, that's exactly what it means. Thank you for that very much. Seriously, go follow us there. Not just so you'll send us money, but you can watch us live if you desire. KREF Sports on YouTube. 405, no RPO, no air raid, ground control with play action. Basically what the 49ers run. So you don't want any RPO, you don't want any air raid, you want ground control with play action. I mean, basically what the 49ers run, or just kind of that system, like I'd be fine. I'd be okay with that. I think a lot of people, the RPO has kind of turned into a almost a kind of like a bad 3 letters there for how things have fared so far this year. Will the RPO be involved with the program moving forward? I would guess in some ways, but if you want to completely ditch the way that you were trying to run the ball the first 7 games of the year, I could totally understand that. I could get there pretty easily. Keep the text coming, 405-651-3439. 615, State of Tennessee, G.J. Kinney and Craddock, leaders in the clubhouse, question mark. It's more of a question.
It's very fluid.
I would say that they're both probably in the discussion. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But to me, it would be hard to identify right now the 2 absolute leaders in the clubhouse.
Yeah, well, and it's not necessarily a decision you can't put a red eye on one particular guy until you see how the rest of the season goes. Because, yeah, let's say, okay, Joe Craddock's your guy right now, Tulane 6-2, playing really well. What if the wheels just come off these last 4 weeks, and all of a sudden there's a lot less luster on the potential Craddock hire at the end of November as there was the end of October, especially with some of these guys that are new to their positions and new to their programs, like Craddock at Tulane, first year, or Shanahan at Indiana, first year. Cade Bell at Pittsburgh, first year for him as well. You're really encouraged by what you've seen, and I wouldn't have many, if any, reservations about any of those hires. But if you're in Brent Venables' shoes and you're making a hire that's going to likely dictate what the outcome of your tenure as OU's head football coach is, you want to make absolutely certain that you're not becoming a prisoner of the moment with any of these guys.
This is a good text by Chapstick. Can we just talk about NFL guys? No one is leaving the NFL for college football. during this day and age. And maybe there's some guys out there that if presented the opportunity, they would leave the NFL to be an OC at OU. But I don't think an OC in the NFL, which are going to be the names that you throw out, by the way, and especially if you throw out an OC name in the NFL, you're throwing that name out because they're doing some very, very good things. Well, good OCs in the NFL are about 1 to 2 years away from being hired on as an NFL head coach. So I get that we throw names out just to kind of see and create conversation with it. But I'm with you, Chapstick. I don't believe that the next OC at OU or even the short list would include an NFL OC.
Somebody earlier said, what about Ted Roof? He knows how to get offenses scoring.
That's true, and he is available. Going to bring him in right now. Get a kickstart on the 2025 season. I bet he'd dominate against a three-man front, wouldn't you think? Three-man front against Ted Roof's offense. Watch him light it up. Okay, 405-651-3439. Three-star Lost City Sooner. After researching Craddock, I like it. Also has some Clemson ties, so it makes sense.
Yes. The guys with Clemson ties that are worth watching in this search are Craddock and Willie Korn.
Yeah, those two, for sure.
Down South Sooner fan says, I know this might sound silly, but the go-go offense on College Football 25 is pretty fun to run. It's my go-to offense in the game.
What if that's how Brent is making the next hire?
Brent's
He's
just going
playing
home,
the game. He's like, I like this
turning on the
playbook right
PS5. I like this playbook. Give me some of this.
832 Mike, I want an OC that can recruit the best talent and win games. Thanks to Latrell and JJF, we are going to lose players to freaking A&M until OU shows they can score points without the help of defensive penalties. Is OU in danger right now of losing players on the offensive side of Texas A&M? I know they got 3 commits over the weekend.
Okay, I'm trying to think. Who would A&M be realistically in play for that is among Oklahoma's current commits? And the three guys they got, I think OU might have offered 1 or 2 of them, but not seriously in the mix. I would not be all too worried about A&M right now on the recruiting trail because, yes, they're having success, and yes, I think their success will continue, but it very well could be a flash in the pan, which we have seen at times over the years.
Ain't no doubt. Ain't no doubt.
And so
they could lose to South Carolina on Saturday.
Again, this is why I would encourage everybody, don't be a prisoner of the moment. Let's see how the rest of the season plays out before we start getting fear in our hearts about the possibility of what A&M might be under Mike Elko, even though I do think that program is headed in the right direction.
615, no go-go at OU. Texture from Tennessee. Drew from Flower Mound, I'm sorry, but does it matter who we hire as OC with this offensive line? It still does matter, Drew, yes, who you hire at OC, even with your offensive line situation. And God willing, they will be a lot better next year up front on the offensive line. But, yes, it still does matter. Someone was telling us to take all of our Super Chat money and throw it down on the over-under win total for OU next year. That is a way too early conversation. I wonder what OU's over-under win total is going to be next year. It opened up at 6.5 for this year. Quickly got up to 7.5.
I bet it'll be 7.5 again.
7.5 again next year? Yeah. Maybe even 6.5 where it opened up this year to begin with. Probably around that number.
Dan says, judging by how Brent uses timeouts, I don't think he's ever played EA Sports College Football 25.
That's pretty good, Dan. If you've ever played the game, you know how clock management works. If you ever played the game growing up, which I did. Therefore, I am an expert in clock management.
Dude, I got a PS5, 3 months ago, specifically for EA Sports College Football 25. God, the amount of accidental timeouts that I have called because I accidentally tapped that center button.
You're like Les Miles out there?
It's all too easy to do.
Parker's worse than Les Miles with clock management.
I might be worse than Les Miles when it comes to clock management. I'm not nearly as bad as Les Miles in certain other areas.
Yeah, and you're not talking about the fact that he ate grass when he was at LSU. I don't think that you're talking about that. Is he known as the... Do you think he's the popular name if you say worst clock manager in college football that we've ever seen? I would say Les is probably number 1 for me. It's pretty bad.
Mario Cristobal holds that title and will for the foreseeable
after
future.
Last year's
after the Georgia Tech game.
That was bad. That was bad. But Les Miles telling his quarterback to spike it with 1 second left after they hit on a big play was pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Chris Tate, is Joey Halsley a possibility for OU's next OC? Tennessee has had explosive offenses, particularly the Hendon Hooker year. He's an OU guy. Would Venables make the call to Joey Halsley?
He's an OU guy, but he's also very much a Josh Heupel guy. And I don't think if it came down to it, and knowing how much money is behind the operation at Tennessee, which, hint, is a lot of money, I don't think if Joey Halsley walked into Josh Heupel's office and said, I got an offer on the table to go be OC at Oklahoma, I think I'm going to take it. I don't think Josh Heupel would let him walk out without offering him a substantial raise.
Now, Chris Tate said he's an OU guy, and Joey Halsley is an OU guy. He played here. But remember what Brent said, what was it, last week? And I forgot exactly what he said. Yep. It was, I don't really care if it's an OU guy or not. So I don't feel like Joey Halsley is going to be a serious candidate. And Brent has already stated that he doesn't really care about hiring an OU guy or a guy with ties to the program. So that doesn't necessarily, single-handedly eliminate Joey Halsley. Again, Brent's not concerned with hiring an OU guy, and I don't think Halsley is going to be a serious candidate.
Yes. The cursory Lauren Montgomery mention.
We get that one a
text
lot.
Line. That would be hilarious if they hired Lauren Montgomery and then that offense is just cooking next year.
Brent kind of trusts his job with no disrespect to him or any high school head coach. Lauren Montgomery has been incredibly successful at Bixby and has won a lot of games. You just feel like that hire is going to come from the college ranks somewhere. Angry Ronnie, can we stop with the former OU hires, Ref Army? It has not been good. 832 Mike, stop going after OU guys. So far, they have all failed as coach at OU.
Well, I don't know about all that.
People are going to be mad if they hire anyone with some OU ties.
I don't know if they've all – I certainly would not say they have all failed. Brandon Hall has done a heck of a job.
Yeah, yes.
Find me anybody that has beef with the job Brandon Hall has done in his time at OU. But, yeah, certainly you're not predicating the hire on how familiar the OC in question is with the University of Oklahoma. You're hiring the best guy for the job. That's what it has to be at this point.
So it's not November just yet. It'll be November at the end of the month. But you know what season it is? And I heard it with you and Steely earlier. It's Joe Brady season. This is it. It's as always the time of the year where it's Joe Brady season. I heard a Joe Brady text earlier, and I said, didn't check my calendar, but it's officially Joe Brady season.
Yeah.
Here it is.
I got a text earlier from someone I know well who has NFL connections and lots of them, and was told Joe Brady has no interest in coaching college football again.
There's a lot of guys who are probably like that now,
Yeah, I would assume there are more of those guys than there aren't.
405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. We need to award KREF Recruiter of the Month coming up next. Your text and a whole lot of OU football as well, right here on the Ref.
Hey, this is Luke Elzinga, and you're listening to The Ref, the home of Sooner fans.
Hi, I'm Alex Torvey, candidate for House District 46. I've been a small business owner in District 46 for years. I know firsthand the challenges we face: rising prices, high taxes, and uncertainty. I will fight for policies that keep taxes low, supporting small businesses, and cut wasteful spending, ensuring that every dollar goes to making Oklahoma stronger. On November 5th, vote for Alex Torvey for House District 46.
Paid for by Alex Torvey for House District 46.
Teachers are dynamic leaders shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. They're skilled experts, discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready? Explore teaching at teach.org, supported by the U.S. Department of Education and 1 million teachers of color.
Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here are some water conservation tips you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
A big appetite calls for a big burger, and Brahms Crave and Save combo deal delivers. You get a double bacon mushroom Swiss burger, fries, and a shake for only $8.89. Brahms Double Bacon Mushroom Swiss Burger has 2 quarter-pound beef patties smothered with mushrooms, seasoned and marinated to perfection. Crisp strips of bacon and real Swiss cheese, plus all the fixins'. Grab Brahms Crave and Save combo deal for just $8.89 for a limited time only.
Medicaid and CHIP offer free or low-cost health coverage for children and teens. Hospital and doctor visits, prescriptions, shots, and more are covered. That's peace of mind for parents if a child is sick or gets injured. And parents may now be eligible for Medicaid too, even if they've applied in the past. Enrollment is always open. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Are our love bugs and companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life better. When we face unexpected challenges, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people and their pets. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Ready to transform your backyard into a stunning oasis? At Deckworks, we specialize in high-end decks, patios, pergolas, gazebos, and other outdoor living experiences. With over 30 years of unmatched craftsmanship, we bring your backyard dreams to life. From luxurious decks to serene landscape gardens, experience the difference that only 30 years of dedication can deliver. Visit Deckworks.com, a Brent Swift company. Deckworks, where your dream backyard becomes reality.
Dorsey Jones Buick GMC in El Reno. We're to this hour of Locked In with McComas and Thune. Dorsey Jones is family owned and operated, established in 2020, but many of their employees have been there for more than 20 years. They pride themselves on having the best service technicians and friendly service advisors that put your needs first. They also have half-price oil changes on Saturday. But check them out in El Reno, Dorsey Jones Buick GMC. You're out tomorrow. Congratulations on closing on a home. That's exciting stuff, man. That's cool.
It is exciting. I am excited. I'm also excited for a day off.
I mean, how could you not
Of
be,
all
man?
the weeks where...
Oh, dude.
Yeah, and I think I deserve it because I have to do 2 hours of solo radio previewing Maine on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
well, since you're out tomorrow, we got to do KREF Recruiter of the Month today. Here are the candidates. And text line, we need you here, 405-651-3439 to decide who the winners are. Porter Moser is a candidate. He got 4-star center Kai Rogers and a top 100 player on the 11th of this month. So Porter Moser, 4-star center on the board. Patty Gasso and staff is in consideration as well. 5-star infielder Kieli Ho-Ching in the 2026 class. She committed on the 2nd. 5-star pitcher E.K. Smith from the state of Texas committed on the 15th. And 4-star pitcher Keegan Baker of Edmond Memorial committed on the 4th. So Patty got 2 5-stars and a 4-star. Porter got a 4-star center. Should Beedenbow be in consideration since he had no decommits this month? I don't know. I'm just trying to, throw someone else in the conversation at this point other than those two.
Drake just texted me. I'm only solo for 1 hour Saturday. Bless the Lord.
Nice. Congrats, dude.
Thank
this day
goodness.
Keeps getting better for you.
It really does, man. Anyway, sorry. What was your question?
KREF
Recruiter of the Month.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it to Porter for getting Kai Rogers.
I'm giving it to Patty for getting 2 5-stars and a 4-star.
Okay. But, I mean...
First 2 texts. Porter Moser, Gasso.
Yeah, well,
we're already split.
Here's the thing. And I can't put it any better than one texter, and I wish I could remember which texter texted this in a few weeks back so I could give them proper credit, but somebody texted in and said, Patty Gasso doesn't recruit, she chooses.
Well, that's 100%.
Which is a pretty accurate summation of things.
And not even in her, like, it's not just players in her own backyard, right? Or like,
No.
all right, you're going to have to play. It's, I'll go out to Hawaii and get a player, like she did this year, or has this year, got committed. I'll go out to California, or I'll go out to Arizona, or I'll go to the Houston area, whatever it is. She does choose. But, hey, you can't use that as a reason not to give Patty Gasso her due credit and the staff their due credits. They go out and get the players. You still got to give them credit for it. But Porter getting a top 100 player at center is impressive as well.
Angry Ronnie is taking credit for the text that I cited.
Somebody's
Tip of the cap
got
to
to.
you, Angry Ronnie.
580, what about Skip? Slim Brady says Porter. A lot of Mark Dagnalts of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Interesting. Les says Patty always gets 5 stars. Her 5-star girls need to bring along some 5-star football guys. Drew from Flower Mound. Jenny Bede and Brooklyn Stewart commit this month. Top 60-ish player. The women's team is going to kick ass this year. Brad from Shawnee, any men's basketball help is much needed.
I love how there are many, many names being thrown around, and none of them are football staffers.
No.
It's been a quiet couple months on the football recruiting trail.
Well,
that is for certain.
And wasn't 2 months ago the first time since we've been doing this? And it's been over a year when we're going on about 18 months or so probably doing this. And I felt like 2 months ago was the first time that they hadn't gotten a commit or like a transfer portal get. And now we're on like a 2-month drought right now.
It's been a long time.
More decommits than commits in the past couple of months.
84 years.
Yeah, that meme will definitely come into play right now. But I guess I'll look up all these submissions at the end of the show, and we'll award it maybe officially tomorrow or something like that. We're already getting heated. Speaking of the transfer portal, we're already looking ahead to the portal, which opens up in December. We already have, via 24/7 Sports, way too early top 10 prospects for the 2025 cycle. So these are the top 10 of guys that have already announced that they're going to be in the transfer portal.
Pickens got to be pretty slim.
Key Lawrence is number 10 on the list. Former Sooner. Former Ole Miss Rebel. Key Lawrence is at 10. LaShawn Williams, running back at Iowa, is at number 9.
That's pretty good.
How about some other notable players that I can find here? Jaden Mickey, the corner at Notre Dame, is at number 5.
Okay.
Donovan McCulley, wide receiver at Indiana, is at 4.
He's all right.
Red Hibbler, that's a hell of a name. Red Hibbler, edge at NC State, is number 3. Matthew Sluka, the quarterback at UNLV, is number 2. And then Jaheim Otis, the defensive lineman that left Alabama during the middle of the year, is at number 1. So there's your way too early 10 names to know for the transfer portal cycle.
Matthew Sluka, Oklahoma Sooners QB1 in 2025.
Hey, a lot of people did tell us yesterday that OU starting quarterback for the 2025 opener is not currently on the roster.
Well, I'll tell you, about the only way Matthew Sluka would have any reason to be at the University of Oklahoma in 2025 is if Brennan Marion were the next OC. And trust me, if Brennan Marion were the next OC, Matthew Sluka will not be anywhere near Norman, Oklahoma.
Ain't no way. No. 940, the ref for keeping Sooner Nation together.
I'll take it.
How about that? Something positive and nice on the text line. You love to see it. Recruiting Boomer says Jada Coleman brought her 5-star boyfriend, and that hasn't brought anything but BS. What? You don't think that Billy Bowman has brought anything but BS? Thank God Billy Bowman's on this team.
Billy Bowman should have won the Thorpe Award last year.
And he's not a semifinalist this year, which sucks. That got released yesterday. That was a bummer.
Brutal. I thought he was a shoo-in, man. I thought this was the year that he would win the award, but it does not seem like he's playing as good of football as he was in 2023 as a junior.
Well, and I don't know if we look at it this way, but it was always going to be hard to live up to last year.
Oh, certainly.
Because if you just look at it from a football sense, well, he did so many things other than just coming up with interceptions and touchdowns. But that's kind of, to the naked eye or to the regular football fan, that's what you noticed more than anything else. The amount of interceptions that he had last year and the amount of touchdowns that he had last year, and he just hasn't had that type of season. And that doesn't mean that he's had a bad season. It's just, hey, he was kind of in the right place at the right time at some of those plays, at some of those spots. But regardless, I still think he's had a good year, but not as good as last year. That's probably fair to say.
Yoda has nominated himself as Recruiter of the Year. I don't know why.
Let us know on that, Yoda. I do appreciate your post-game phone calls, though. Brent from Jink says, candidates mentioned today and their total offensive ranking. Brennan Marion, 46th. Joe Craddock, 43rd. Willie Corn, 32nd. Ben Arbuckle, 23rd. Mike Shanahan, 6th. So, candidates mentioned today, Brennan Marion, UNLV, Joe Craddock, Tulane, Ben Arbuckle, Washington State, Mike Shanahan, Indiana. So those are just kind of the schools and where those coaches are currently at right now.
Yeah. We got 1 month of football left. There's going to be movement there. I figured that much. I mean, as I said, the one guy that I don't think has a body of work that can have any holes poked in it at this point would be Mike Shanahan. But depending on how the final month of the season goes, there may be more steam behind a guy like Ben Arbuckle at the end of November. There may be more steam behind Joe Craddock or Willie Corn or whoever. I think what happens in November is going to go a long way towards dictating the public perception of who OU should hire.
Alex from Manford, hey guys, I got a question. After Mizzou, we have a bye week and then only 2 games left. Do you think that behind the scenes during the bye week, OU will have a decision made and then within 24 to 48 hours after the LSU game, they announce it publicly?
I don't think OU will necessarily have a decision made over the bye week, but obviously the bye week presents a very logical, very obvious opportunity to start laying the groundwork for whoever your next OC may be.
I do agree with the second half of that text, though. Within 24 to 48 hours after the LSU game, it's announced. Yeah, maybe they don't have the decision made during bye week. Maybe progress on that is made during the bye week. But, and I guess depending on who it is, if your hire or who you think you're going to hire is in the college football playoff, I mean, we've seen guys before be named head coaches elsewhere while the team is still playing. So I guess it's still possible that hire is already made. But, yeah, if that coach isn't in the playoff or something like that, I could definitely see 24 to 48 hours after the LSU game, they get out in front of it and they go ahead and hire their OC. In fact, I think that they would be best served to do something like that. As quickly as possible after the season, announce your next OC hire.
Yeah, you got to move fast. And as I've said, I think if it takes longer than 48 hours after the regular season ends, it's probably because they're waiting on somebody that's coaching in a conference championship game. That would, at that point, be the only reason to wait with as much time as you have had to line it up.
903 State of Texas. Texas State head coach is a big no for me. Their offense didn't look great last night. But is that what you're basing it off of, just solely just last night and last night only? Their offense did not look great last night. Who'd they play? Louisiana? And I think Texas State was a slight favorite in that game.
It should not be underestimated or understated or underappreciated what G.J. Kinney has done at Texas State. That is a hard place to win football games at the FBS level. And they haven't been an FBS program for very long at all. And more often than not, they're dealing with what is considered by the rest of the known world to be second and third-rate talent. For instance, this spring, we were all calling Texas State OU's AA affiliate because they were taking all the guys that OU processed. You know, Bray Walker started for that program last year. Marcus Alexander started for that program. Who else is there? Blake Smith is there at Texas State. And so Joshua Eaton as well. Joshua Eaton wound up there. So to do what G.J. Kinney has done at San Marcos, I think speaks to his acumen as a football coach and as a leader of young men. And that's part of the reason I think that, he's going to be in the running for the OU offensive coordinator gig. There's a reason his name is getting thrown around, but I'm not entirely convinced he will even be on the final board because he may be due for a bigger head coaching gig elsewhere.
In full disclosure, I'm not sure exactly what G.J. Kinney has done recruiting-wise at Texas State, but I do remember the guy before him. You remember Jake Spavital? He was like all portal guys. I feel like there was one year in particular where they got like one high school kid or 0 high school kid in a recruiting class. And he went 13-35 there and did not appear in a bowl game and got fired. So G.J. Kinney didn't take over a great situation, but I think all in all, with what Texas State has been over the course of its history, he's been pretty solid there. And I do think that maybe he's not the candidate, but he could definitely be one of the main candidates for this OC opening. Pete from Tulsa, who is the OC at Tulane? Well, you're in luck, Pete, because we've actually been mentioning that name for the majority of the show and for a couple of weeks now. Craddock is out there at Tulane.
Joe Craddock.
And their 2 losses this year, Kansas State and Oklahoma. Their 2 losses.
Beating everybody else. Yoda texted in again and said, he deserves Recruiter of the Year because he kept the force together on this station.
Well, on this station maybe you did, but not on the season.
He said he had a lot of Jedi friends who wanted to give up.
Yeah, we got 4 more football games, man. Offensive MVP, we threw this out yesterday through 8 games. Javonte Barnes.
Yeah, I guess I would say so.
And his numbers haven't been great, but
no, I mean like who else is there? Can't really give it to either of the quarterbacks because they've both gotten benched.
Unless you want to go Jacob Jordan after just 2 games.
Jacob Jordan has a total of 12 catches for 124 yards and a touchdown. Great, but not an MVP resume. Deion Burks probably would be MVP if he had stayed healthy up until this point.
Definitely think he would have been.
Yeah, I guess all in all, if we're talking total body of work, it almost has to be Javonte Barnes.
913, final text before we get out of here. Andy K has to be the number 1 target. Yeah, that's just not going to happen. Coastal Nicky's not.
It's hard for me to believe it.
I don't. I would love that too. Should have happened last year, in my opinion. But he may be getting a head coaching job this offseason for what he's done at Penn State. And Penn State's not going to lose him over money. I can guarantee you that. I know you can try and pay him a lot of money, but I don't think. Make the call if you want. I endorse that, but I don't think Coastal Nicky be leaving Penn State to come to Oklahoma. All right, that'll do it for Locked In. The Rush is coming up next. Travis joins me today right here on The Ref.